And as we're seeing from like this Young Thug situation, once we bang you with a RICO, everybody's telling.
I was going like going into that. How do you feel knowing what you know now with the young?
Well, I said it on the show that we did with Kev. I said I feel like we need to prepare to never see Thug again. I feel even more strongly about it now.
I can't believe how many people are taking proffers. Like it to see an indictment come out, and you know what that brings. Yeah,
it brings out the worst in everybody.
I think it was 28 people listed in the indictment, and if you know what I know about federal convictions, you know that 80% of them come from testimony and informant. Yeah. So just looking at the numbers, if it's 28 of y'all by stats like analytics, but just going off of that, you figure 28 to 6, 8, 14, 8, 16, 24. Yeah. Like going off of the numbers, 23 to 24 y'all out of the 28 is supposed to be telling. That's just the numbers.
What's crazy is this, right? The state, Fulton County, did some unexpected shit. I thought that, most state and local governments are dumb as fuck. Like, they fuck up a lot. Right. So when I first seen this shit break and I seen Thug only had 2 counts, Gunna had 1, I'm like, oh, this is a cakewalk. Like, this is like nothing. But what they did was, they almost rope-a-doped us into like this, and Thug too, into like this false sense of security where it's like, oh, it's only 2 charges, not knowing that they was going to come back, add 7 more charges, not knowing that they was going to fight tooth and nail to revoke his bail. Like they're putting all the pieces on the chessboard to checkmate this nigga. Yeah. Because it's like if you coming into an indictment knowing you got 8 proffers in already, it's game over.
And that's the part I was getting at, where it's like 28 people listed in the indictment. To see people taking proffers that ain't even in the indictment,
like, oh, y'all got Jeffrey finally? Oh man,
crazy.
Yeah, that nigga told me he was gonna kill my grandma 8 years ago. Yeah. I'm so glad y'all got this nigga off the streets. And they said that. It's this journalist that works for Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I think his name's George Shahidi. He's doing an interview series with Vlad right now, and he's talking about the fact of like, number one, he's like, I'm surprised at some of these names and charges that I'm seeing, and just the way that, and he basically said that he spoke to the district attorney's office. They said that you could expect a RICO of this size to come out of our office at bare minimum once every 2 months going forward.
Yeah.
They said we are cleaning up the street gang problem that we have in Atlanta and Fulton County one by one. We are getting these niggas off the street. And when you see how they frying Thug to where it's like, yo, he had a 10-hour, you know how demoralizing it is? You have a 10-hour bail hearing and then they still come back and deny bail because all of your character witnesses, the 15-year-old kid that you helped in the community, Kevin Lyles comes, yeah. All this shit. You think like, I'm getting out of this motherfucker. I'm getting out on bail. People done offered to put up $1 million for 24/7 security, off-duty police officers and all that to keep you out of trouble and protect you and protect potentially any witness tampering and blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the end of this whole hearing and then the prosecutor is like, Your Honor, I want to object to the bail because we have proffers in against Mr. Williams. I'm just like, wait, what? He's like, people that are indicted and unindicted people that have offered up proffers against him, and they have said, let me read it properly, and I quote, he is extremely dangerous, and if we cross him, he will kill us and kill our families, end quote. What do you do with that? Like, if you a motherfucker come into a courtroom, the judge don't know you, don't have no prior recollection of you, none of this shit. They just know you a rapper and you a fucking gang chief. And then they come in here saying that, yeah, he's extremely dangerous and he'll kill us and kill all our families. You are not getting out on bail, dog. Yeah. I don't care what your counts say. I don't care what the time you are not getting out on bail, dog. Like we need to be preparing and reconciling as a culture to never see Young Thug again. Like this is not like a Sean situation where he gonna go get sentenced to 10, do 9, whatever the case may be, come home at 39 years old, like, and run for government. This is not that. Like, this is you go do 40.